Hello everyone, welcome to the very first episode of CPO TV Weekly Roundup. In this episode, we bring some interesting things that happened this week in the world of supply chain and procurement. Let's start with the most trending issue that has hugely affected the global supply chain, the coronavirus outbreak and its impact on shipping industry. The impact of the coronavirus outbreak is being felt by the shipping industry, with ships calling at or through major Chinese ports falling 20% since January 20th, according to maritime data provider Alphaliner. In a report released last week, the firm said that it predicted that the impact of factory shutdowns and other restrictions hitting China's economic output due to the coronavirus outbreak will reduce global ocean shipping container volumes by about 0.7% over the full year, which is equivalent to 6 million containers. However, they also said that the impact of the outbreak on the shipping industry would not be fully measurable until ports release their data for the first quarter. With brokers in China reporting that bookings for container ships, tankers, and dry vessels are rapidly falling, and that a slowdown could potentially extend until March. The reduction in shipping volumes is expected to ripple across supply chains across the world. That's the current news regarding the coronavirus outbreak hitting the global supply chain. Moving to our next story, this week an interesting blog by Makis Papapostolou got featured on CPO Innovation website. The blog was on supplier management and cost optimization. In his blog, he quoted that the supplier knows better. And he also explained how your supplier can benefit your business and help in optimizing your cost. So it's really important to know your supplier and to build a healthy relationship for a long term in order to optimize your supplier cost. Coming to our next segment, Gen X Talk. Let's discuss the very interesting and a significant topic, women in supply chain. So last year, CPO Innovation Tech Supply Chain Conference and Exposition was held on September 19th and 20th in Mumbai. We had some amazing women leaders from supply chain and procurement who talked on a major topic. The panel discussion was centered on women in supply chain and the significant role women plays in supply chain management. Geeta Arekil, Head Mobility Services Supply Chain Management at Siemens, led the panel called Swimming with the Sharks, Women in Supply Chain and Logistics. Speaking with Sonali Krishnan, Supply Chain Leader at Suez, Kusum Sharma, Head Digital Supply Chain at Bosch, Dharni Jayaprakasam, Chief Transformation Officer at IBM, Bonita Pereira, Global Logistics Category Head at Piramal, Geeta Uppal, Vice President, Head Procurement and Contracts at Reliance Industries Limited, and Ruchita Mishra, Head of Purchase at Inorbit Mall Private Limited. During the discussion, panelists shared certain aspects of their career, from how they started in the fields of supply chain and technology, to the different challenges they faced when it came to solving problems, building and managing teams, and finding work-life balance as they grow in their careers, while still making sure they spend enough time with their families. On asked, "Are women the new sharks of supply chain?" by Geeta Arekil, all the panelists had their individual perspectives on that question. According to Sonali Krishnan, most of the women are inherent sharks because they need those killer instincts to really navigate the ocean of supply chain. On the other hand, Kusum Sharma had a different opinion to that question. According to her, women are dolphins. They are more intelligent and more adaptable. Dharni from IBM said that women are not the new sharks, but they are the breed that learned to speak up. She wanted to convey that women in supply chain never spoke up because of the inequality or bias that prevails in this male-dominated society. But now things have changed and women are coming up as a more powerful supply chain leaders. You can watch the full session of this amazing panel discussion on the official YouTube channel of CPO Innovation. Link is in the description box. Coming to the last segment of our today's video, let's talk about the amazing and magnificent supply chain processes of day-to-day things which we use. It's a worldwide fact that India runs on tea. Morning tea plays a significant role in life of an Indian. Adding to the fact, India is one of the largest tea producers in the world, although over 70% of the tea is consumed within India itself. In this, India is also among the top 5 per capita tea consumers. An interesting part of daily life today, tea was introduced formally to Indians by British. The origin of tea in India is owed to the British, who intended to overthrow China's monopoly on tea, having found that Indian soil was eminently suitable to cultivate these plants. Let's jump onto the supply chain process of this amazing beverage. The supply chain process of tea leaves has 8 stages of production, starting from growing, picking, withering, rolling, fermenting, drying, blending, and at last packing. The whole supply chain is then developed further with transportation and retailers to help provide customers worldwide with essential product. The next step is fermentation to avoid natural decomposition. In this section of the supply chain, the leaves turn black as they dry out. After all this preparation, the tea is set for retail. The transportation and exportation throughout the various supply chain stages are crucial factors in the tea industry. They are heavily relied upon for their timings in order to deliver the highest quality tea to the end consumer, whether that is cafes or supermarkets for home purposes. Tea is a drink for every season, as the Chinese proverb goes, "A day without tea is a day without joy." The global tea demand is expected to rise, and tea producers are under more pressure as domestic consumption increases. As a result, global demand exceeds supply. So exports play a crucial part with maintaining the overall demand and supply balance. And that's all for this week's episode. I hope you enjoyed watching this segment. Do share your thoughts on this video, and I will be back next week with a new episode of CPO Innovation Weekly Roundup. Do follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and don't forget to subscribe our YouTube channel. Thank you.